What's up, guys?
So, Art,
How's it going?
good. That's a great hat, Nathan. That's one to definitely wear when you're doing your presentations.
Oh, admit. I
Thank you
know,
very
right?
much.
I love that. Shit. I like the he had the money hat on the other day. The dollar
Yeah.
sign, your dialing hat, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a dial hat.
Yeah, I've just gone with the Symmetry trucker.
I like that. Oh, you got that at the Cooley stand?
Yep.
You know,
I wanted to
regret
get
not
Quigley,
getting
but I didn't. I kept not getting it when I finally went to go buy it. It was gone.
same.
I had the same issue.
Yeah. And my wife's like, you better get it now or you're gonna miss it. I was like, no, they'll be going. It's fine. And then when I left the last one, that's where we were stopping and all the stands were gone. I'm like, all right,
I
well,
wanted
I
that
guess
porcupine.
very nice.
It's too cool.
You probably will be able to buy it on My Quality.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
And we've got I'm excited about, you know, because my little guy, I've gotten to appreciate football a lot more than I ever have in my life because of my 12-year-old, and we found out they, you know, at conference, right, that they're going to be advertising Quility during the NFL games. So
Yep.
pretty cool for us to be talking about this company we work with. Nobody cares, right? And now all of a sudden we're a household name.
You know, that's a great recruiting tool too. I've told that story about 15 times already this week.
Me too. Absolutely. I mean, Dan Marino, what's so funny is 2 days before conference, I always show the kids classics and I forgot 90% of this movie, but I showed them Ace Ventura and there's Dan Marino, you know, who I was like, oh, and when I got back, I'm like, dude, we just saw
Laces out, Dan. Laces
ruined Ray Finkel's career.
No.
Laces out. All right. So, guys, welcome. I know Betsy and Mohammed are coming on, but they'll be good. What'd she say? Just finishing up with the cooks. Okay, very cool. And there's Mohammed. So, first of all, I've got some edifications. I know some of you sent some in later. So, in fact, Devo, you're one. Let me check it out. There we go. Okay, so first I want to give some shout outs. I'm gonna skip Betsy until she gets here because I know she has her numbers, but she's leading from the front. I know she's got some apps in this week. She's got one new hire, 3 contracts back this week already, fresh out of conference. Richard Jerkins, congratulations to you. Richard got his first app in. And it was a $220,000 face value at $14.35 APV, so not a bad start after still getting assimilated, right, Richard, with technology and all that. I think we all are. You are not alone. There's a lot of new stuff that even within the last few months, right, guys? Richard's new. We've just been sprayed with the fire hose, and we're taking it in and assimilating, but it's all good stuff. And for those of you that, you know, missed conference, I hope you were able to make the conference call yesterday, national call, which updated you a little bit on what we got done. But as I mentioned, Dan Marino is there throwing out footballs. Some exciting stuff. We partnered with the NFL for advertising opportunities throughout the season. And possibly an ad on the Super Bowl itself, which is just crazy incredible. And we've also partnered with Walmart Health. Walmart is now allowing us to offer our clients and even take advantage of ourselves highly discounted foundational health plans, right? So for as little as $30 a month, as much as $60 a month, you can cover your family. That covers some doctor's appointments, some other great stuff. There will be more information about that as we go, but I just thought that was pretty cool. And blow your mind, like I said, that all of this, don't allow any of this to be overwhelming. We continue with business as is, but this is what's being folded in, and this will become the new norm, and it's pretty exciting. But we also have launched a shopping platform called myquility.com. And if you guys haven't gone there, again, it's just myquility.com. Don't get lost during the call on it, but you can check it out after work, right? After your scheduled activity hours, which are crucial to successful business. But check out myquility.com, guys. Pretty cool. You can shop for flights, hotels. It's like a little bit of an Expedia. I'm hoping they give suggestions, because I wanted to look at some trips there, and I have to like guess what airports they accept, right? So I think it's still, it's still working itself out, but it's pretty cool. You can find local deals. I've already taken advantage of some local deals on there, and we all have points, right? You get points for all of your purchases. So get this, guys. I know they mentioned it at conference, but for a couple of you that weren't able to make it, or maybe you just came on during conference, right? And you're like, well, I missed it. Symmetry is working diligently, right? They're always investing in us. And I've been here for 6 years and started with a printer and a car and my cell phone, and that's all we had. That's all we needed, right? It's all we had. We didn't have band, we didn't have dial teams, we didn't have switchboard, none of that. And even then it was a good opportunity. And then, and paper apps, by the way. Good luck filling out a Forrester Strong Foundation 75-page application at the table, right? So it's the struggle was real, but I'm still here. It was a great opportunity. I was stuck 6 years ago. I was in not a great place financially. I've always had that positive mindset, but it was a very it was not matured. I was not evolved, right? I didn't know what to do with it. What good? That's like a 5-year-old walking around with a smile on his face, right? So I'm really grateful for all of the personal development here at Symmetry, and just to continue with the point, they then transferred to e-apps, right? E-apps were amazing. Now we can do it. Whoa, some of these carriers, we actually don't need paper anymore. I can lighten the load in my trunk, get some better mileage when I'm driving 3 hours away to get to a lead territory. And year after year, just rolling different things out. And guys, we missed 3 years of conference because of COVID. Biggest one we missed was a cruise in 2020. It was going to be the most unique national conference ever. Would have been really unique if it would have stunk, right? But anyway, it didn't happen. I just keep thinking of the Titanic every time I hear about a cruise, but that's my own personal problem. But it was going to be a cruise, right? I had my parents, my sister, my brother. I mean, I can't tell you how many people we had. And then COVID hit, and it became very apparent that we had to cancel that conference. That was a big letdown for all of us that were excited about it, had prepped for it. And we haven't had a conference since, right? November 19. And you can already see, if you're paying attention to band, and I hope in your own calendars, right? I can see it on our team. People are already, taking that momentum and moving forward in a new way. Because what was the theme of conference? Reimagine, right? And if you weren't at conference, don't worry about it. Just start today. Reimagine your future. It's tough for some of us. Some of us have, all of us have limiting beliefs to some degree, right? All of us have self-doubts and insecurities to some degree, right? And particularly when you're not in a great space, like many of us when we start, like I wasn't when I started 6 years ago, you got to kind of borrow that faith and adopt that attitude to see it through, because that then leads to, the golden pastures, if you will. And I just think it's incredible what they've provided year after year. And now fast forwarding to conference, right? We now have switchboard, Razor Ridge. Don't even worry about what that stuff is, right? Yet. Watch the call from yesterday if you didn't. But the point is, they packed 3 conferences into one. So it's going to feel a little overwhelming right now. But don't let it. Stick to the basics. As I said on the huddle this morning, let the new stuff fold in as you can, and you'll be ready to rock and roll. But I've got a little agenda here for the day. I'm sure you'll all are impressed, because I actually have an agenda. Christy, are you on here yet? No, she must be with the cook. So again, I'll let her give her numbers when she comes back. But Richard, congratulations on your app. Randy Johnson, I want to commend you. for your leadership. Richard's a new agent on Randy's team, and more so for leading from the front with a standing lead order, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Randy took on a standing A lead order this week and a Razor Ridge lead order, and also 2 contracts back. So taking his business seriously with a commitment with a lead commitment and a standing lead order, which will help ensure that you get the leads you want where you want, right? And it's also just saying, hey, I'm running a shop. I need inventory. So why wouldn't I commit to regular inventory, right? And 2 contracts back. So he's recruiting. And Randy just texted me this morning. I didn't have this in my notes, but how many appointments have you set for this week so far?
Interviews.
Yep.
I just had 2 more fall in, so I'm at 20 now.
20 interviews.
Yeah, because I've been kicking butt.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And guys, what we're talking about there, if you're brand new, we do have a recruiting co-op here. So again, nothing to rush into if you're just getting started. But when you get to that point where you're ready to begin investing in recruiting, you don't really have to figure too much out. You come to your upline. Betsy's team has put together an amazing marketing funnel, which will essentially have interviews landing on your calendar. And if those of you that are brand new, never done an interview, 2 things. 1, me or your upline will always be thrilled to co-chair an interview with you, to do the interview by your side on your behalf, right? They're your agent. We'll do the work. We'll interview them. We'll bring them on. We'll train them all alongside you. So never too early to start recruiting. I'm going to let Betsy in. There we go. Number 2, Chris Cook. I saw him just host one yesterday. Chris Cook will oftentimes host a live interview on Band. So just as you see links on Band, like Elijah this morning saying, hey, I'm going to do a dial team. And by the way, guys, take advantage of as many of those dial teams as you can, because you're going to find Elijah, the script's the same, but Elijah has a different style than Joe, has a different style than Jordan, has a different style than Jeff, Val, me, Randy, Angie, etc. Right? So pay attention to these dial teams, because someone is going to resonate with you in a big way, whereas someone else may not, right? And that's what we're all about here. Symmetry is just identifying what resonates with me, you know, what's going to help me, and we're all here to help, no matter what team you're on, right? So just take advantage of Chris Cook's interviews if you're recruiting. When you see that link pop up, just like you do those dial teams, watch Chris do an interview. He keeps them tight. They're about 10-15 minutes. He sticks to the facts. And Chris's methodology is mostly just, you know, sorting people, meaning give you the basics, and the ones that want to start, great. If you're ready to do the basics, then we can explain the rest as you go. Nate Brown, coming out of conference with 1100 APV. Turned in an app earlier this week, and I'm sure he's working on more. Congratulations, Nate. Robert Melnick got 2 contracts back this week, so Robert's hiring. And Nathan Bowers, who I know is not here now, but congratulations to Nathan. He recruited somebody from Family First, a good friend of his, and another recruit. So he's got 2 new hires this week. Any edifications anybody wants to shout out that I missed? Oh, I want to congratulate Rico Smalls. I don't know if Rico's here, Stephen, but Rico Smalls passed his state exam in Texas yesterday. So great job, man. The journey has just begun. And I know Nate and Jay have been running some DFL appointments. Jay actually also, I know, just hired somebody because we were talking about his release letter. So congratulations to you, Jay. That's awesome. The bar agency is just kicking butt. And anybody else before I get into the rest? Does anybody have any quick questions, leaders, edifications, anything real quick? No? Okay. Gary Chen, I wanted to welcome you to the team. I have not had the pleasure of meeting you. I did see you come through onboarding. Who hired you? Where are you from? I know this is normally an orientation thing, but here we are at the meeting. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and very nice to meet you.
Sure. Let me see. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Oh, great. I'm from San Mateo. I've been in the insurance space for almost 2 years now. I'm been with mortgage protection and final expense for probably the past 2 months. So I'm really excited to start with you guys.
That's awesome. Thank you, man. And who hired you in?
Dustin?
Excellent. Well, welcome, Gary. Super happy you and I can get together this week. I'd love to. In fact, if you'll send me a text with your name, I'm going to put my number right here in the chat. Let's get together and I would just want to make sure you have everything you need. Have you been to an orientation yet?
I just started.
Okay, great. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock, can you make 1 Eastern? Are you on East Coast or West Coast time?
I'm on West Coast.
Okay, great. Oh, I see. I'm talking to the host. There, I can talk to everybody. Thank you, Kim. So Kim put my cell number there, Gary. You said you're on what? West Coast?
I'm on West Coast.
Okay, me too. Can you make tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific?
Sure.
Great. If you will then go to sfgagentsuccess.com, there's a link there called Firestarter Orientation. Click on Orientation, and you're going to see the call for tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific. And anybody's welcome to join, no matter how old or new you are, right? It's just keeping the guardrails on. Click on orientation. You're going to see the link for the meeting right there. If you would, Gary, just please take some time either while we get started here or right after to put that in your calendar with the link, and then we'll see you tomorrow and get you started on the right foot. Okay?
Sure. Appreciate that.
Excellent. I'm sure that anybody want to, before I get into some other stuff, anybody have some, I mean, I know we were all impacted deeply, but anybody have anything that they'd like to share about conference, something that maybe you have as a takeaway that might impact either someone who didn't go to conference or maybe someone that saw it through a different paradigm than you? Anybody?
I'll go, Mark.
All right.
It was, I think we all are here on Zoom. We all see each other. We all encourage each other. But it was just amazing to have the energy of being together, of brainstorming, of collaborating together, and what we've been able to do since conference because of the way we built those relationships up stronger is just so much more powerful. So yeah, it was amazing. I'm just so thankful to be to be a part of this team.
That's great. That's great, Betsy. I agree. It was so. You almost forget on Zoom, and again, it's one of those things you can't really describe or explain effectively, at least to the point of reality. The difference between us just being able to be there together and kind of associate and unite and be with other teams. What I really liked on that note, Betsy, was being able to talk to other leaders, right?
Yeah.
Jared Gillum said it once when I suggested, hey, why don't we get some other leaders to help us with our overviews. And he said, you know what, I love that because we have a great culture. We got a great hierarchy, but if you just stay there, right, it can become an echo chamber. And we don't even think that there's other ways to do things, right? Mm-hmm. So we've got a system here at Symmetry. Well, I'm not suggesting everybody just innovate the heck out of it, follow it, but you're going to get some great tips from other agents, other leaders that maybe you wouldn't have thought of. You're going to get different perspectives that you're not going to get. And conference, live events, there will be more live events throughout the year, guys, in and around your town. So if you see a corporate overview or a boot camp training, things like that within 4 or 5 hours, make it a priority. Make it a non-negotiable, especially if you've never been to one. Make it a non-negotiable commit. 4 to 5 hour drive. Randy, I think you had to drive 5 hours to Indianapolis for your first one. Are you glad you did that? Was it because it's the same as Zoom? No big deal. What do you think?
It's definitely worth it just to see everybody in person, and just talking about the conference, you get a little taste of it when you go to one of those smaller meetings, but everybody talks about the culture, but when you're there, you feel it, right? You can tell when the founders are up there talking about the new stuff coming out that they care about everybody who is on the team and making their lives better. I mean, there's no way you go to that and come out thinking that, oh my God, what company am I in? It's like, oh, wow, I'm so glad I'm with this company because the culture is just so amazing. Everybody you see, everybody you work with is willing to give you, their time to help you improve and grow and be successful. And that's a huge takeaway. And going to the overview, it's a little bit of the same thing, just on a smaller scale. So I highly recommend it.
Awesome, man. Thank you for that. All right, guys, anybody else before we get started? It was
I want to say
fantastic.
what I kind of got away from it was something that is going to be great for me because I'm not a fast typer. But when you go in and you fill out an application for somebody, you can use that same application for 4 different applications. So that's a very big plus for me in the aspect where I don't type very fast. So it takes me a little bit more time than it does the normal person, I guess. But I see that as a big advantage because you don't have to fill it out and try to remember everything and, put something on one screen, one on the other, and try to type back and forth, So that's a big advantage for me.
I love that, Shelly. And I think for everybody, what Shelly's referring to, guys, is they are developing a system. I mean, eventually there will probably be no opt, right? It's all going to fold into Quility. Everything will be on the hq.quility site. And we're going to have the capacity to fill out one e-app and do multiple applications inside of the one app. So again, don't get overwhelmed. I mean, they squeezed 3 conferences into one, and we've got all kinds of rollouts. Get excited because it will become the norm, and it'll become the norm at your pace, right? Because the way that we've been doing things still works very, very well. But these innovations and investments that they've made in us is taking this company to a, what they predict would be a $10 billion plus valuation over the next few years. So those of us that are here, guys, you found the right company at the right time in your life. You said that prayer, you made that ask to the universe, whatever it may be. You made a shift from comfortable to uncomfortable in some way when you asked for that change, and you found Symmetry. So that's how I feel anyway about when I found it, because albeit I have some other passions that I work on as much as I do this, this is the reason that I'm successful in those ventures. And it wasn't the case when I started 6 years ago. So guys, got a lot of new people on the teams and leaders emerging, which I love. I love seeing the cocoon start to open up. Angie, I can't believe you went from, recruiting more market to now you're getting into cold market like never before. And I think you have some pretty good interviews on the books, it looked like this week, and some hires.
Yeah. And since we do have so many new, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I'm on my headphones. I didn't know. For all of our new people, or all of you hiring new people, the slingshot was extended at conference. So that was super awesome. But I just got clarification that also the slingshot kickers are extended. So that's an extra $12,000 of opportunity for bonuses for them. So keep that in mind when you are, for those of you who are in your first 90 or 120 days, and then also when you guys are hiring. So I thought that was awesome.
That's right, guys. And thank you, Angie, by the way. She wrote support because they didn't mention it at conference. She did write support yesterday, and they came back and said, yes, those kickers are still available. So those of you that are brand new, or those of you that are hiring, guide your agents to the page on Quility for Slingshot. If you can't find it, just go to that little magnifying glass, type in Slingshot, and one of the search results will come up as the one sheet for Slingshot. And you can see what the qualifications are there to A, expedite your raises and promotions, and B, as Angie said, if you get a certain amount of activity done in your first couple of months here, you can really win some additional money and even a trip. Some really exciting stuff there. So thank you, Angie. Let's see. Oh, so emerging leaders, new agents. Something that Betsy's team brought up, and I don't know who to give credit to, so please do it, because this was not my idea, but I love it. When we talk about getting ready for the field and also just becoming an SNA as quickly as you can. What's an SNA? It's writing 6 apps in your first 6 weeks. Well, when does my first 6 weeks starts? It's when you got your opt login. So 6 apps inside of that 6 weeks makes you an SNA. We've got some big winners who, we didn't have SNA a couple years ago, and we've got big winners on our team that didn't qualify, right? So it's not like it's a deal breaker. But the great thing about SNA guys, especially if you're a leader or a brand new agent, if you can really put in the activity to ensure you get 6 apps in your first 6 weeks, and if you've been here 3 years and you're just waking up, challenge yourself. I'm going to get 6 apps in the next 6 weeks, at least, right? Because that puts you on track for the right amount of activity to really grow here and hit a point of momentum that will have you writing more and more apps and really getting a feel for what it takes here activity-wise to build sustainable success. So how do I become an SNA? Start with some practice appointments, guys, right? You want to write your first apps as quickly as you can. And you also want to meet with families with confidence, competence, and the right positioning. So somebody on Betsy's team suggested, look, pilots have to go and do a bunch of practice hours before they can actually go fly people around, right? So just the same here, before you go meet with families, get yourself some hours locked in with practice appointments. I've always promoted this, but I always promoted it as, hey, ask your friends for a favor, tell them you could use some help getting your appointment brushed up, and that's okay. But what I love about this new positioning is, you can go to your circle and just say, look, my company is requiring me to have, at least 6 appointments practiced on the books before I hit the field. So I really want to meet with 6 people, brush up on my presentation. Would you give me, half hour or so on Zoom and let me get my appointment in, right? Do that. Challenge yourself this week to find 10 people that you could do that with. And if you're brand new or you've been around a while, but you're still not super confident on how to operate Zoom, right? How to, especially, when technology can be a barrier to entry in the beginning. But the more we use it, the easier it gets. I remember me and Shelly trying to figure out Zoom when we first started. And I don't mean just Shelly, me too, Shelly. I was like, wait, you can share 2 screens at once or what? But it really does help during your appointments. And I'm glad we got through that. So pretty awesome stuff. So challenge yourself again. If you're new, get in front of some people that you are comfortable with. Let them know it's just your practice hours before hitting the field, right? And that will really give you, if nothing else, the mechanics of an appointment. Share my screen, do this, turn on Zoom, send them the Zoom link, treat them like a real appointment. So even if they live with you, have them go upstairs and you're going to have them log into Zoom and everything else. So that's that on that. Let's see. Does everybody know what a standing lead order is? Most yeses. I'm looking for any no's. Okay, well, good. I'll briefly cover just in case the ones that are not showing their faces said no, right? A standing lead order is available on the website, right? HQ under leads. You just go to leads. I'm going to show you guys where it's at because me and Randy were looking. As they innovate, some things get moved around, but I found it here. Let me share my screen. This is a secret to success, guys, right here. So it's reported that agency owners have an average of 50 A leads in their base on standing lead order in their organization, right? So our goal, agency owner is that's where they give you a new contract. This is yours for life and beyond, right? This is your legacy. As your agency continues to grow, so does your passive income. And thank God, worked our tails off to get there. I'm an agency director now. If I pass tomorrow, my kids have the business, right? Eula has the business, and when they pass, their kids will. That's the difference between Symmetry and these other IMOs. You can make some great money in insurance anywhere, right? If you're doing the work. But Symmetry has created a legacy opportunity that no other IMO in the country has created, and for that matter, the world. So let's see. So we go to leads, and we're going to go to. Oh my gosh! Oh no. Hold on. She told me this yesterday. And by the way, I've actually requested that they simplify this. It's not any easier than it was yesterday, Randy. All right.
I was just gonna say type in standing lead. That's how I found it.
Too. Oh wait, she did tell me.
Hey, by the way, did you speak to Rufio?
No, I called and then our call started. I was on hold the whole time. So, oh, that's right. Support. All right, guys, start over. We just got to the website. All right. So, little counterintuitive for me. It's not under leads. If you go to support and then click on leads, support, leads, lead orders. There you go. So this is how you do it. I'm going to do that one more time for everybody. You go to the website, and then you go to support, leads, lead orders, right? And then you got the lead order forms. So what we have here, guys, a standing lead order is when you say, you'll notice on the map less and less are you going to find A leads, right? And even if you're working bonus leads, some of you may just love B1 leads, right? I know I did. They're some of the most effective leads out there at a discount to the new leads, right? So regardless, you may not always find the leads you want in the counties you want on the map because we're growing. We're a growing agency, right? We have an abundance of leads, but we're running a business here. And if you want to guarantee that your inventory is there, then the amount of inventory, when you want it, where you want it, a standing lead order is the way to go. And remember, as you grow, if you want to grow a successful business, if you're working toward agency owners have an average of 50 A lead standing orders across their base. It's a definitive factor for growth here is just having access to that inventory. And again,
Did you say 50?
What's that?
Did you say 50 leads?
50.
50 A leads?
Yes. Now that doesn't mean you. That means if you have 5, that means if you have 4 agents plus you, each of you have a 10, standing lead order, right? So
what's the average that people do that are like in our group right here? What's the average?
Average would be between 10 and 20 A leads. You can also start off, I recommend if you're just starting off, start off with a standing lead order for 5, and then mix in your bonus leads, right? You always want to supplement with some bonus leads. And by the way, we do have standing bonus lead order forms too. So if you just want those B1s, I'm going to open this. There it is. You're going to do a new order. Now, when you download this is the other thing I learned, Randy, is when you download it, it is fillable. Remember, you couldn't fill it?
No, I could. It was just the signature side. So also one important thing, make sure you attach the correct file, not the blank one, the one that's actually filled out.
Yeah, the blank
Because then
one.
when you send it in, they're like, we don't accept blank ones.
That's right. Randy's attached the wrong file to the thing and we thought we were done. I'm gonna let that open up while I show you the rest. So no matter what kind you want, guys, they do want you to, they do recommend, right? You can do whatever you want. They recommend you click statewide. Statewide means they're gonna pull from any county. If you're in a state where you know there's just some counties that just won't work, Richard, I know we went over some in Virginia, right? According to Elijah. So maybe you want to just put your, you know, the counties that you want, but you just put the state and the number you're willing to commit to each week. Now, what that means, guys, if we're doing this, and I'll show you the A-lead form as well. And please get with your mentor, guys. I don't mean for this to be a training per se, but I do want to at least show you that this exists because this is something that we have found as groups of leaders will lead you to success in an expedited way. It's a commitment, but it's a necessary commitment if you want to grow, right? So again, statewide is the best option for your best chances of getting filled every week. So I would choose some statewide leads for the most part. If you know there's knockouts, then again, consult with your upline. We can fill it out together. You can name the counties here if you decide maybe you want to, maybe there's, you know, 20 counties in your state and you just want to list 17 because you don't want those other 3. Great, that's fine. Then put the counties, the state, and how many A leads are you willing to commit to every week. So what this means, guys, is it says the 0 to 21 days means it can take up to 3 weeks to get these started, right, for you. So don't sign up and then be in a week be like, where's my lead? This doesn't work. It takes a couple weeks to populate. But if you put, let's say you put 10 down here, that means as leads come in, you must take up to 10 leads a week, right? I'm sorry, you must take at least 10 leads a week if they come. And here's what I mean by that. Let's say it's just trickling in and 6 leads come in. Well, you committed to 10, so you must take those 6 leads, right? They're going to charge you for it, whether you want to work them or not, right? Great thing about building a team is you can assign these. So if you're like, well, I'm going to Hawaii next week and I've got 12 leads in here, great. You can distribute them to your team and have your agents purchase them directly from you. And again, we'll show you how to do all that. You just have to know the what, and you'll figure out the how as we do it, right?
So the A leads are like $40. Is that what they are? 36 or $40?
I believe. Check opt. You'll go into opt and see what the different prices are, because as you graduate into higher commission tiers, the lead prices go up, right?
Yeah,
So because Symmetry wants to make sure that they subsidize these heavily so that new people aren't paying 50, 60 plus a lead like they are at Family First and some of these other IMOs, right? They keep it as cost effective as possible for new agents. And that's why you see it tier up. As you make more money, you'll pay a little more for the leads. So for instance, my lead cost is significantly higher than it would be for a starting agent. So so let's say you put 6 here, right? Or let's say you put 10 here. 6 come in, you have to take them because you committed to 10, right? Maybe they have 17 A leads come in. The great thing about that is you have to take the 10 you committed to, right? They're going to charge you for that, but they're also going to say, hey, Angie, we have 17 A leads in. Do you want them? How many do you want? So you could take them all, right? Because you get first dibs on them before they hit the leads map. And that's a key advantage, because you may have it in your budget to, sure, I'll take 5, 6 more leads this week and write a couple more apps, right? And completely cover the cost of my lead budget. Sure, I'll do that. And then you fill out your credit card information here, you sign it. I'm going to approve it, or your AO, right? Whoever your AO is. In this case, it's me. Not for long, right, Betsy and others. And then off you go. You got it in. Leads department will keep you posted. And I highly recommend everybody at least start out with a bonus lead. Just in fact, I challenge you each and all, put in a standing lead order. Okay. It can be for A leads if you're ready for them. If you're brand new, you're not ready for them. But with consistency, you'll be ready for A leads within your first, I'd say 90 days. Really work those bonus leads, make your mistakes. But within your first 90 days, you can move into A leads, right? I'll approve it if you're showing the activity and you're putting up the numbers in line with your metrics, right? But at the very least, and here's the bonus lead order form. At the very least, put in something you're willing to commit to invest in each and every week, because that's a business. That's the consistency that's necessary for success here. I can't open a store and not have things on the shelf, next week, just because I maybe have some things left over from last week, right? The bread spoils, right? Now, I'm not saying leads spoil like bread does. Bread, you got to throw out, right? Leads, you simply have to let them cool off if you've dialed them 12, 15 times, right? So fresh inventory is key here. So much so that, as I learned from day one, and it's still true, if you only had, $400 to your name, it'd be better to get $100 worth of leads over a period of 3 or 4 weeks, as opposed to just getting 1 week of leads and then you've got maybe that's the week that you don't write any apps, right? Now you're back to ground zero with zero inventory. So anyway, counsel with your upline, talk to me. I can always help you as far as investment and allocation goes, what would be appropriate depending on your situation. But know that inventory turns into income, right? So you want inventory. The more inventory you have, as long as you're willing to work it and resolve it, guess what? That's income. So make the commitment, put in a standing lead order. These can always be increased, right? They can also be decreased, but the idea is to grow and grow. As you grow your team, the nice thing about these is, again, you can distribute them to your team. So maybe you have a standing lead order for 20 A leads because you have some star agents who maybe aren't ready to make that commitment, but could do with 3, 4, 5 A leads, right? Make sense, everybody? Awesome. So we have found more than ever, and that's why you'll see it on Band. We've got little standing lead order challenges going. It's not for us, guys. It's for you, right? This is for you and your business. This is what we're discovering expedite success, and so we're passing the knowledge on to you guys, just like SNA, right? I'm thrilled when we get some SNAs. Holly Austin, Randy Johnson are our most recent SNAs. It's pretty incredible because it means they're putting in the right amount of activity, A, and most importantly, B, consistently so. And there are, go on the website, look at the Razor Ridge leads. So those forms I showed you, that's just a couple of, I just showed you the basics, bonus and A leads, right? Razor Ridge is here too. If you don't know what Razor Ridge is, watch yesterday's call. Look it up on the, on the website here. Here's the Razor Ridge Mortgage Protection lead facts. Every lead type has a fact sheet on the website, right? Tell you all the conversion stats. Read these and know them, because you look at, somebody can call a lead once and be like, oh, these leads, right? No, look at these. 80% of sales are made between the 12th and 24th points of contact. That means you triple dialed somebody 4 times minimum before they picked up the phone, right? That is the Razor Ridge fact sheet, but we're talking real deal. They're spending millions of dollars on studying data to make our jobs easier and manage expectations properly, so you don't get unnecessarily frustrated with no's. That's part of the business, right? Only 1% of all leads, now this is for instant leads, guys, digital leads, but I just find this fascinating. Only 1% of all leads get a call within 60 seconds. If you're one of those people that called that digital lead within the first minute, because we now have digital leads, right? Over here, this is under leads where it should be. Digital leads training and digital leads order. Isn't that awesome? So you can order digital leads now, guys, but go to the training first. Very important. It's not like a mail-in lead. It's a different animal, right? I'm talking to Marty Valor. He's got somebody working him pretty successfully. I am working on getting us a guest speaker from another agency that can kind of walk us through what they're finding success in. But look at that. If you're the person that called within 60 seconds, you're 100 times more likely to speak with your leads and 400 times percent more times likely to convert them to a customer. So pretty cool. Study your stuff, right? Sharpen your axe, but don't do it on your work time, right? Your activity hours should be non-negotiable. And don't say, well, I was learning all day. No, learn at night. What else do I got? Have. Is got a word even? We use it a lot. I got this, I got that. All right. Mohammed, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Would you mind, everybody's hearing about switchboard, right? It's a new thing. It's going to be the norm sooner than later. I'm sorry I didn't prepare you for this, but Nate Brown has his hand up and I have it blocked by a Microsoft Word document. Go for it, Nate, real quick.
Okay. Am I able to share my screen?
No, go for it, please.
All right. Brief, just real quick. I wanted to share my screen as we were talking about the whole with new agents who may be coming on board. And I know there's a lot of recruiting efforts happening. So for new agents who may not be used to writing apps already through lead acquisition, like buying leads and working them that way, we are going to encourage you to work through your warm market. So this is kind of like, this list is here is what we call like a top 25 list. And I just kind of want to go over, this is kind of what Mark was mentioning earlier that we were talking about after conference, like a way to kind of get people's warm market involved. So just a quick list, and this is going to be tweaked. It's going to be like a fillable PDF version that's being worked out right now. So Randy and I will be working with assisting you with new agents. You will just take your time, fill out this list with your circle of influence, family, friends, first name, last name, phone number. And if you AIM client is usually, we call it AIM, it's like their age is between 25 and 55, like they're young, they're healthy, they qualify for most products. They have an income, of course, and this indicate whether they're married or single. And then if they have 3 good qualities about themselves, it's always good to know, because it's good to just build that rapport during a phone call. You have a few good qualities about them. So let's say, for example, you're brand new. I'm helping you with this top 25 list, and I'm engaging with the person on your list. I kind of have a couple of things that I can kind of relate to them about and open up conversation with. It's good to know your relationship, like whether it's your friend, auntie, cousin, pastor, teammate from high school, college sports. And then when you're filling out this list, based on what you know about them, we'll ask questions and really get a better financial snapshot of where they are as we talk to them. But just if you kind of, if they know that, they just bought a house recently or they got some student loan debt, just kind of indicate what product type or types that may benefit this particular person. So if this person is like 55, they have no life insurance whatsoever, they're looking for final expense, or they mentioned it, kind of hinting around it, then you want to type in like FE, like this little key, little shorthand. So this list right here will be kind of tweaked over time, but we'll be giving this out to new agents that are being recruited. To the moment they're on their that first fire starter call on Friday, this is their homework to fill out over the weekend. So come Monday, you'll be able to go ahead and work with them and get 6 people off this list, get that SNA done as soon as possible. So this is an initiative that we're working on. I just kind of want to elaborate on it as you mentioned it earlier. So that's all.
That's awesome, man. Thank you. I love this. And you're going to PDF it and fillable and all that stuff. That's amazing. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, guys. This is going to be a great tool to help really expedite making use of that warm market. Oh, 1 second. I have I have a notary coming to the office, so bear with me because she's here a little early, but it's just 2 quick signatures if I have to do it. I'll do it maybe while Mohammed is telling us a bit about Switchboard, if you are prepared to do so, Mohammed. That looks like a no.
He's
Mohammed,
ready. He's ready.
Tell me what you know about Switchboard and what, because as I understand it, you have been tasked as part of our leadership group to kind of head up being the go-to for Switchboard questions. If you can't figure it out yourself, or you've talked to your upline, things like that, right, Mohammed?
Yes. Can
Okay.
you guys hear me?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I was part of the pilot program for DFL Switchboard when they started it. And basically what it does, it allows you to import leads. Initially, they will allow you to import third-party leads, but now it has to be leads within SFG for you to be able to have, it's like a digital marketing kind of thing for you. If you upload leads in Switchboard, it sends out automated text to that client, on a regular basis, probably every other day or every 2 days, depending on how you set it up on your Switchboard. So when you download your leads over there, it makes the stuff a lot better than you cold calling people, and one of the great advantages of the digital stuff is a lot of times we don't pick up phone calls we're not familiar with, right? But we all do read text messages, whether the text message is coming from someone you know or not, So, and if the client doesn't really want to be bothered, they'll probably just automatically just go and say stop. You don't have to do anything. The system would just stop sending that person automated messages right away. So you don't have to go in and stop it yourself. And it makes sales a lot easier, by them basically reaching out to the client for you on a regular basis, and I've done a couple of sales just by using Switchboard, 2 mortgage protection sales that I made recently with them. So I like it a lot, and it's very useful in this day and age.
That's awesome. Thank you, Mohammed. I know we've got, we'll have more and more agents using Switchboard, and I'd really love to just take a couple minutes each week. Jay said Switchboard, go. That's you, Mohammed. Just take maybe 5 minutes a week to discuss our Switchboard experiences, tips, ideas. And like I said, I'm working with Marty and maybe a couple other owners to see who who may best serve us in maybe guest hosting. Hey guys, here's what a digital business looks like, as we start to, the mail-in leads still work. You heard on the call yesterday, do not stop working your mail-in leads. It's very tempting to be like, oh great, I don't have to dial anymore. That's where we're going. We're not there yet. The metrics still pan out on the mail-in leads, and that's still your bread and butter. These are very sticky leads because somebody filled that out, folded it, put it in an envelope, walked it to the mailbox. You're always going to get the families that think they had to fill it out, this, that, and the other. But again, the metrics work. So get those first and foremost. But again, just like with the standing lead orders, get out of your comfort zone. That's the key to growth, not just at Symmetry, but in life. Getting through your comfort zone, out of it into a growth mode. With the mindset of abundance, not scarcity, right? Infinite resources and income and impact that you can make on people by just doing the right thing and stretching yourself a little bit, not to the point where it impedes the rest of your business, right? But just a bit outside so that you can grow. And on that note, I suggest, you guys look into maybe trying a few digital leads a week, making sure you call them within a minute. But go through the training first. You can see it right there. There's digital leads training on the website. Talk to your upline. We can work it out together. Randy, you have Razor Ridge and Switchboard. So I'm not going to put you on the spot today unless you have some insights. But I would like to, if you can maybe think about how you might be able to take a minute or two as you experience the platform to help others here get started quickly in taking advantage of that stuff. And then of course we can all watch closely. Are the Quility digital leads comparable to the Razor Ridge leads? And Betsy, I think you should, if you're listening, and if not, I understand you're on a call, but Betsy's team knows. Betsy, I think at some point, Level Up can, once you feel there's a lead system there for agents, I would be thrilled to have, Level Up. Maybe you and Javon talk about what might be available for our agents through your lead platform as well. Real quick, guys, I am so proud of Betsy. I think she took a call. I wish she was here, but
hey, Mark, does everyone have access to Switchboard now? I thought that was what they had said after conference.
yes, after, I believe everyone will have access to Switchboard. I think it's September 1st. Is that right?
Oh, okay.
They're still onboarding everybody. We got an email, I think yesterday, that says they were prioritizing people at conference who signed up, and then they're going to work their way down based off your activity level.
Okay, great. And what was I had it written down. I closed the doc. I can reopen it, but who remembers we need 4 apps in order for what to
get on Switchboard.
Yeah,
you need
4
4
apps
apps.
for Switchboard.
You need 3 apps for
SBLI.
yes.
Okay,
and then
great.
you need 6 apps for the seasoned new agent.
That's right. So for Switchboard, guys, just know you must write 4 apps the traditional way before you can get into Switchboard. So don't try to sign up if you haven't. Once you're through those 4 apps, this thing rolls out full force September 1st. And with any new platform that we've rolled out, it's going to probably take a week to chunk through the bottleneck. That's why you don't want to stop the mail-ins anytime soon. But definitely, once that kicks in and you got your 4 apps in, register for Switchboard. Look around, feel it out. Give it a shot, right? So,
and just to add to the Switchboard situation too, that I forgot to mention, it allows you to have funnels, landing pages. So whether it's a mortgage protection lead or DFL or general life insurance, with your own stuff being customized, your calendar, everything set up. So people can even go there and just schedule an appointment with you directly.
Yeah, so that's awesome, guys. Just know that the reason we're converting to this, it may seem complex at first if you, like some of us, can be technologically challenged, but the great news is once you get through that learning curve, it's going to streamline your business like never before, because we're in a day and age, where, Jeremy Miner said it, 90% of people will not answer the phone, right? 90%. So we're cutting edge. We're leading the industry more than the industry even realizes. And you're going to get to a point where, this is the way people are doing business, and where Equus or Ethos and some of these others have it wrong is they have it fully automated without that agent touch and contact. And that's something that people will never not want. They want to work with people. Now they get the convenience of an Ethos, the low price, the fast service. You got an app in hand in 10 minutes, right? No sweat. You don't have to deal with the salesperson or anything else. But they also get you helping them, a real person, and someone they can call if they need some help. And now they've got an agent, right? So we've taken those worlds and combined them into one super efficient system. Give me 1 second, and then we're going to go over contests. Anybody else have something they want to cover real quick while I get this signed? I'll be right back. This literally take 10 seconds, and I do apologize. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Angelia, didn't you have some good results while we were at conference with Switchboard?
Yeah, so I had someone contact me while I was at the airport. And then when I got to the hotel room, we did a little bit of texting back and forth, but then I called her when we got to the airport and submitted her application in the hotel room before registration.
Wow.
Yeah. And then another thing with the funnels that Mohammed was mentioning, it's super awesome because you can even save the link. Like I even have them saved in my phone. So if someone reaches out to me on like social media or warm market, you literally just send them your link. They click on it. It pops up with like your picture, a little bio, and your calendar for them to put their self on your calendar.
It's a game changer. I haven't had that result yet because I've only had 2 leads come in, but it's when you're on the team, you see there's a Facebook group and you get to see all the activity that's going on, all the wins. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And also, Randy, even though you have the Razor Ridge leads, if you have any old leads in your opt, which I know they're making some updates to Switchboard, but when I first signed up, I was able to add my old leads that I didn't have contacts from, and it just kind of funnels through them. And I've had people reach out from leads from months ago that I couldn't get in contact with over the phone. So that's nice too.
Yeah, that's so true. Because one of the mortgage protection leads I wrote was a lead I bought late last year. They kept on reaching out to the person. Finally, he reached out to me last month. Like, hey, I'm ready now. Let's go ahead and do it. And I end up writing him a mortgage protection plan.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
What does Switchboard cost?
it's free.
Free 99.
Yeah.
Free for
Unless-
Quility.
What they rolled
Unless
out.
you were in beta before that, you had to pay, but now it's free to everybody starting September.
Yeah.
So
I know. I wish
Wow.
they can give me back the few the
I-
past
well-
couple of months.
but there will be some premiums to it if you want some extra stuff like the dialer that's coming in and I forget what the other thing was on. There was something else that was in the email. There'll be packages you can purchase for other options mixed into it.
That's yeah, and by the way, as far as that stuff goes, they really are, as mentioned, working toward a net zero cost for agents to run their business. And that means as long as you're paying attention, being on the calls, plugging in, you will get this, guys. It'll become the norm. I remember some of the stuff that's just do it with your eyes closed now. When it came out, we were like sweating and overwhelmed and happy it was there, but how do I use this and how does that work, right? Don't worry, it'll all fold in naturally, but we will very rapidly get to a point where you can run a net zero business, meaning again, all the money that's required to cash flow in order to get return on investment can be done with the credit card points, with everything else. So again, as I mentioned earlier, check out myquility.com. Sign in with your HQ credentials and start shopping. You'll earn points back, and those can be so that's money you didn't spend that Symmetry is giving back to you, guys. They've got it designed so that once that rolls out fully, real quick. I know they covered it at conference, but I also know there's a few people that didn't go. Say you book a flight on myQuility, like you would on Expedia, right? Well, when you book it on Expedia, you get that discount flight. And that's great, but what Symmetry's doing, because they make their money off other things, right? Symmetry's a highly profitable company. So what they've done to create an even more profitable and successful company, while at the same time benefiting agents like no other IMO will ever do, as far as I can see, is that they've taken that, when Expedia sells you a cheap plane ticket, they usually have, let's say you buy a $600 ticket for $200, and they got it for, X amount. They're keeping a lot of money, right? That's their business model. That's how Expedia and Orbitz and Priceline make their money. Symmetry is taking that amount and giving it back to us. So it can very realistically help you ramp up your business in a big way to simply shop there. And guess what? You're going to be able to very soon here share that site, a special number that you have with your clients, with your family, with anybody that you know, and every single time somebody uses that site, uses their prescription card, which gives you big savings. I've handed that prescription card out 5 or 6 times in the last, I don't know, 4 or 6 weeks. And everybody has texted me back and said, thank you so much. I saved $30, you know, $12. Somebody I know saved $65 on their prescription. So, and every time they use any of this stuff, guys, you get credit for it. You get commission for it. You get points. So check out your MyQuility account. Start paying attention like never before to the calls. But more importantly, guys, forget all this. Just focus on the income producing activities. Dial, set appointments, show the plan, recruit, build your agency, right? And lean on us to help you do that. All the other bells and whistles, they're awesome. They will fold in naturally. And the more you consult with your upline, the faster you'll get a feel for it. So don't hesitate to ask questions.
Way to go, Betsy girl.
Yeah, Betsy. All right. So one more thing I'm going to talk about Betsy. Just remember the contest, guys. Pay attention. 20 contracts back. If you're recruiting, 20 contracts back in the month of September will get you to Temecula, California on a leaders retreat. I know we're going to have some good people qualify for that. So please, if you are building a business, recruit like never before and join us in Temecula for some really great leadership stuff in a very beautiful place. Also, remember, May 19th through 23rd of 2023 is the Freedom of the Seas cruise. It's a Caribbean cruise. And the qualifying dates start September 1st through February 28th. If you went to conference and got your badge scanned, right, in that room that we had the cook meeting in, you already started, right? So you got a little bit of a head start. But as we went over this morning, guys, it's only $2,500 a week in APV issued paid from now through that date to qualify for this cruise. And if you want to get a fancy cabin, great, do some more. $80,000 will get you an ocean view cabin, and $100,000 from now until then in APV issued paid will get you a balcony view room on Freedom of the Seas Caribbean cruise. So it's a Caribbean cruise. It's all ours. It's going to be amazing. Would love, love, love for each and every one of us to be there. I think that's going to be amazing. And I hope you guys will really use that as an incentive to set weekly goals for yourself. I think if you're, you know, unless you're really part-time, everybody here should be striving for a minimum of 2,500 a week APV, right? That's gonna put you over that 100,000 mark in APV. It's going to get you the promotions quickly so that you've now, you know, within your first year, you're going to be yielding that 6-figure income because you'll go up in commission levels. And, you know, I say start with that very small goal of 2,500 a week. Unless you already know your goals, go for it, guys. If you're in for 5, 10, 15, 20,000 a week, absolutely you should be. Good number of our team members come on and hit the ground running. But I'm just talking to people that maybe haven't set their goals, maybe don't know where to start, maybe you're new to being an entrepreneur. Just baby step it in, right? And then we can increase it from there. Okay, Shelly's got to go. Real quick, guys. Betsy, if you see fit, before we go here, oh my gosh, we got to go to production training.
Yeah.
I'm going to save you for next week. I'm sorry,
Okay.
guys.
No worries.
Hop off, get on production training right now. Get on that. We got some special guests and leaders. Spread the word to your team. Get them that link and get them on there. Sorry for going 9 minutes over. Betsy, we're going to talk about college funding next week, and we're going to start webinars in a big, big way.
Sweet. Love
Thanks,
it.
guys.
Bye.